Hi dear friends, welcome back to my channel, Diana and the Book Hunt. Today I have a treat for you. I know that hockey romances have blown up everywhere on any type of social media, on any type of review that you're going to see a hockey romance here and there because they have just been going crazy and authors have picked up on the hype, so they've been releasing all types of hockey romances in the past couple of months. So there's quite a few books to choose from, and I'm here to do a recommendation video for hockey romances, for all the hockey romances that I've read. But I have a bit of a treat for you in this one because I'm not only going to talk about the books that I've read, I'm also going to tell you which books I'm interested in picking up in the next couple of months, because I do have a couple that are high on my TBR because there's just so many at the moment. So I'm just going to share with you, I believe it's 10 books that I'm going to talk about that I've read and 5 or 6 books that are on my TBR. So let's just go ahead and jump in because that's a lot of books to talk about. The first book I'm going to talk about is one that has been everywhere. So I suppose that if you haven't picked this book up, then I'm not sure what you're doing with yourself, because this book really has been everywhere. It's Icebreaker by Hannah Grace. This book I really enjoyed because it's one that features not only a hockey player but also a figure skater, and I absolutely love figure skating as a sport. The two of them are in the same college. Both of them are very competitively performing within their respective sports. But then the hockey team does something that has their rink out of commission, which means that they need to share one ice rink. And this messes up with the heroine's plans for getting into the Olympics, and she is kind of pissed off about the situation. And she also is dealing with a bit of a difficult relationship between herself and her ice skating partner because she's skating in pairs. And the hero, he proposes a mutual deal where he's going to help her out with her skating, and he's going to try to make up for what has happened with the hockey rink, and they become friends first and then they become lovers. It's such a good romance. I really immensely enjoyed it, and there is surprisingly a very good steam within the book, even though it's kind of an illustrated, almost like a traditionally published kind of cover that you see, but it's definitely steamy, so I really enjoyed this book because of all that. The next book that I'm going to talk about is by one of my newly favorite authors that I discovered this year, which is Liese Tomforde. The book is the first book within the Windy City series, and it's Mile High. This book features a hockey player and the stewardess of their private plane, of their private jet. So it's kind of a forbidden situation because she works for them essentially, and it's kind of an unwritten rule that they shouldn't have a relationship. He's very much the player within the team, so she's not very impressed with him at the start of the book. And I really love that she's such an independent, strong character as a female lead, and he is relentless. He likes her, he's going after her, and he's not going to stop until he gets her, and I love that about him. So yeah, it's such a good book. Liese Tomforde does sports romances so well, and I definitely recommend this book to you. The next book is by Odette Stone. It's called Fuck Me Secretly. I have recommended this book more than once on my channel because I really liked it. It's a hockey romance that has a forbidden aspect within it because the heroine is the daughter of the owner of the team, if I'm not mistaken, and she is tasked with taking over the management of the team. And the guy is one of the hockey players within the team, but they actually meet before they know that that is their situation. So they already have an attraction building from their previous meeting when they met up in an airplane that crashed. So there's a lot going on within this book. I really enjoyed it and I definitely recommend it. The next one I've talked about a while ago. The book is called The Summer Proposal by Keeland. This book features a hockey player and a woman who she's supposed to be on this blind date, but he hijacks the blind date. And the interesting thing is that she doesn't know him at all. He's one of the most famous guys within the hockey circuit, but she doesn't know him at all. And he kind of sweeps her off her feet, and then he invites her to one of his hockey games. And I really love that within the start of the book. And it features this friends with benefit situation that they strike for the summer, but he definitely falls first, and I really love that within the story as well, and I definitely recommend this one. Another trope that has taken over our little book romance world this year is the nanny romances. And one of the books on this list is a hockey player guardian nanny romance. It's Go by Alexandria House. The book centers on this hockey player who finds out that his dad has messed up in a big way, and he has other children from his other relationship that are now left to the system if he doesn't do something about it. So he becomes their guardian, and he needs a nanny because he is within his season, so he definitely needs to focus on his performance as well. And he hires a nanny for whom he immediately feels an attraction, but the thing is that he just recently came out of a relationship because the woman he was with didn't want him to be the guardian for the children, so she kind of left him because he became their guardian, so she's a garbage human. But yeah, there's a lot of ex drama going on within this book, but it makes it all the better, so I really enjoyed this one and I definitely recommend it as well. The next book is possibly one of the best hockey romances that I've read. The book is called The Rest of the Story by Bauer. It's a male-male romance, and it's such an emotional but such a well-written book because it's not only centering on the romance, but it's really centering on mutual respect and how you actually start to appreciate another person, how your feelings start to grow, not only on the basis of the physical attraction, but on the basis of you really appreciating and loving the character traits of the other person, because you see how they behave within a group of people, within their friendships and relationships with other people. And that book is just so good and so emotional and such a slow burn, and it has amazing steamy scenes as well. It's definitely worth it, and I would definitely recommend it. So I really tried to pick different kinds of books with different kinds of sub-stories so that you can just pick up whatever you're in the mood for from this list. So the next one is a why choose, or maybe more of a polyamorous type of a read. The book is called Bucking Around by Emily Rath. Within this book, we've got one heroine who has a relationship with 3 other guys, and 2 of the guys also have a relationship with each other. So it's quite a bit of a mess, and it's quite a long book with a lot of steam, but it's definitely worth it because it's built in the best possible way where you see all of the relationships highlighted within the story, so you don't feel that anyone is left out, so you don't feel like any kind of character is built more than the rest. So yeah, it's definitely worth the read. Another book that I really love that I read quite a while ago but is still kind of front and center in my mind is Always Only You by Chloe Liese. This is part of the Berkman Brothers series, and it's a book that has the best kind of cinnamon roll heroes. He is the hockey player, and is she like the PR person or manager? I don't remember what her role is anymore, but she's kind of within the management team of the hockey team. She has a chronic illness, but you will never notice it when it comes to her behavior because she's very much the badass of the team. Everyone is afraid of her, and he has always had a thing for her. He's absolutely smitten with her, and he just is waiting to get his chance with her. It's such a sweet and amazing kind of a romance. You have a very strong lead as a heroine and a very cinnamon rolly kind of a hero, and I really love this story and I definitely would recommend it. I've got one more male-male romance for you, which is Time to Shine by Reid. I just recently read this story. It features 2 players who come to meet because one of the players is just transferred onto the team to substitute for the goalie because he was just injured. So he is there temporarily, And the guy who is fixed on the team, he is like, I have this huge house, come live with me, because it's a shame to be here for such a short period of time and having to rent the place, and I don't want to be alone and you don't want to be alone, so let's just live together. So they have this forced proximity. And the guy who is on the team, he's kind of like the team party animal, and he is very much a player, and he's bisexual. While the guy who just came in to substitute, he is very much kind of shy, a recluse. He hasn't figured out his sexuality yet. He does know that he's attracted to men, but he's kind of in limbo because he hasn't really had relationships before. And he's also a virgin. So it's very much a discovery book for one of the characters, or like a discovery story for one of the characters. And then the other guy is like, how can someone like you, who is such an amazing person, how is it that no one has discovered you yet? So it's such a wonderful story, and I definitely recommend this one as well. The last book I'm going to talk about is one that is different from the other stories because it's kind of low steam, so it doesn't have a lot of sexual scenes within it. This book is called Against the Boards by Cynthia Gunderson. It's a fake dating situation between the hero and heroine. Both of them can benefit from the fake dating, so they strike up this deal. But in the meantime, already actually from the start, they have a mutual attraction for one another, so you immediately know that where the situation is headed. And yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and I definitely recommend it. And now it's time to talk about the couple of books. I have 4 or 5 books, I don't know how many books I have that are on my TBR. I've seen this going around on Booktube and Bookstagram, and I don't know much about them. I know a little bit about one of them, but the rest I don't know anything about, and that's how I want to keep it. But honestly, I'm including these so that if you've by any chance read any of these, please tell me how good they are, which one I should prioritize, because I'm definitely picking up all of them, but I just want to know which one I should start with. The first one, I just recently saw Jess from Peace Love Books talking about it and saying that she really was taken by surprise by this book. The book is called The Puck's Secret by Wright. And another book that I think that I again saw from Jess from Peace Love Books is Broken Hearts by Rebecca Jenshak. I've read a Rebecca Jenshak book, but if I'm not mistaken, it was a different kind of a sports book. It was either like football or basketball. I don't remember anymore what it was, but I've read another book by this author and I really liked it. So I definitely want to read more by this author. And then another book that recently came out is Hannah Grace's Wildfire, which is the second companion book to Icebreaker. And I do know that this one features one of the guys from the hockey team, but it's not really centering very much on the hockey within this book, if I'm not mistaken, because they're at this summer camp. I'm intrigued because I really love the first book, so I definitely want to pick this one up. And then we've got Power Play by Maria Louise. I met Maria Louise in Florence at Rare, and I saw that she has so many amazing books that I want to start discovering, and one of them is a hockey romance which is called Power Play. So I definitely want to start on one of the books by this author to see how I'm going to enjoy them, and I have them on KU, so I'm definitely picking this one up as soon as possible. And the last one, I actually don't know where I saw this one, but I definitely saw the hockey cover and I was like, yes, TBR, immediately. So the book is called Unsteady by Peyton, Corinne. And I know nothing of this book, but I saw the cover and I was like, I'm reading you. So yeah, let me know if you've read it. Let me know if it's any good, and let me know whether I should pick it up first. And that is it when it comes to all of my recommendations for hockey romances and all of my TBR books, again for hockey romances. Let me know if you've read any of the books I mentioned here. Let me know how you enjoyed them, and I hope to see you very soon in the next one. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Happy reading. Take care, and bye-bye.